All right, Aftershocks Tremors, Matt and Chris back here with another episode for you guys and gals. And today we're going back to the Garden State of New Jersey, a place where there's never a shortage of great hard rock and metal bands. And today we're talking with one of those bands from veteran hard rockers 60 miles down. We've got a vocalist, John Mosco, with us today on Tremors. What's up, John? Thanks for coming on. How are you, man?
I'm all right, man. How's it going? Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. We're doing good. We're doing good. So let's get into it, man. 60 miles down. You guys last month released your newest single, Gotta Get Out. It'll be on the band's upcoming EP that we'll see release in 2022. And I saw that you guys also recently shot a video for the track as well. That's coming out next month. So you got a lot going on for the band right now, a band that's been around for a long time, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But why don't you just start us off by talking a bit about the new single and video and whatever else is going on in general in the 60 Miles Down camp at this point.
Yeah, sure. So the new single, it's called "Gotta Get Out." We're in the middle of recording this EP, and I wanted to try and just get a song put together really quick, just to get a single out, just to kind of stay in everyone's heads. And this song went from being something I was hoping to throw together to being something that we really worked hard on for quite a long time to put together. So didn't quite work out the way we wanted to, but we were happy with the end result. The song, it's the best way for me to describe the song. It's lyrically, it kind of ended up being about a lot of the stuff that I write lately it seems like the whole state of the world and all that, the chaos and everything is kind of creeping into a lot of stuff. And I mean, I'm sure it's like that for so many artists, whether you're a musician, whether you're painting or whatever, it's so hard for that stuff to not, find its way, into your art. But, so it's kind of, I think there's a lot of people that you kind of look outside and you think if everything is fine in your own backyard, then everything must be great in the rest of the world. And, you don't really look past your backyard, and you just kind of, there's a lot of people that just kind of ignore, a lot of the things that are going on. And, that's pretty much, kind of how the song started. So, it was very not a very optimistic song, but I don't for some reason I don't have a lot of those. But I mean the world is just a dumping ground, gotta get out is kind of the the message in that song,
Okay, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, I did notice that. Obviously, on the press release, I did, and I'll quote it here. It said, "Unapologetically, it takes aim at the verifiable lies surrounding us daily, propagated by our so-called leadership and mainstream media manipulators." Amen to that. I couldn't agree with you more. I guess so. Then talk a bit. I mean, is this sort of the band's, overall message, not just for this song, but is this something that 60 Miles Down, is this something you want to convey? Is there anything particular you're really trying to convey and promote lyrically within, not just this song, but within the band's music in general?
Honestly, not really. It's
okay.
I generally don't write about, politics and current events and, things like that. For me, it's usually about just, I guess like struggles that people have just like within, there's a lot of stuff about depression and anxiety and, feeling isolated and cut off and, trying to get out of that, that usually seems to be, what a lot of the stuff ends up being about. But for whatever reason, this song, I started to jot down the first verse and usually, I'll come up with a couple lines and then it just everything just kind of writes itself, from there. So, when we did the video, it was kind of tricky to come up with a concept for it because I didn't want to get political. I didn't want to piss off this side or that side or, I wanted to keep it very, very generic and, just kind of something that everybody could kind of relate to,
Sure.
Lyrically too, I kind of kept it like that too. I didn't want to, be like, hey, I'm with these people or I'm with these people. Or,
Sure.
That's not really something that I'm into, it's like, I'm a musician. I'm not a politician. So
right. Do you worry at all? And I'm devil's advocating it here a little bit, but do you worry at all that because everybody is in this state of mind, no matter what side you're on, everybody's kind of depressed and they're tired of politics and shots and jabs and blah, 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 blah. Do you worry that the minute people hear it, they might turn off to it instead of actually trying to get the artistic value of it, just because they can't turn on a TV show, the news, anything without hearing that message?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think the lyrics are that specific,
Okay.
towards anything. It's not really, it's sort of subtle, not very subtle, but kind of subtle, but hey, everyone, listens to a song and they have their own perception of it, what they think it's about, how it makes them feel, and everyone's different. So, there's people that are going to like it, there's people that are going to hate it. And,
Sure.
that's fine. That's why it is what it is. You can't please everybody. You got to do it for yourself. And then the people that like it, that's great. The people that don't, that's great too.
Sure. And
Sure.
the interesting thing too is, at least in my head, to my eyes and ears, it's much better that you say something artistically in a song than ruining your career by saying it on Twitter. Because we're watching and I'm sure you're seeing the same thing we are. Bands that have had success for God knows how many years, and they're just shitting on themselves by saying, okay, half of the fan base don't want you here anymore, man. It's tragic.
Yeah. I wonder, I've seen some stuff recently from different musicians, some that have, been around for eons.
Yeah.
And I hear the things that, that they're putting out there. And I'm like, wow, I'm like, you're exactly right. I think to myself, man, I'm like, this person just alienated probably, half of his fan base, it just pissed a lot of people off. And I guess, the thing is, people are so passionate now, in my opinion, about the left and the right and all this stuff in a way that I've never really seen it before, so people are just, it's like, we can't just agree to disagree. It's like, all right, if we're going to disagree, then someone's going to get hurt. It's just, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy,
dude.
And I try so hard to not watch the news that much and keep myself distance from the stuff, because I can't take it anymore. I can't, but it's so hard because a lot of it, it's like reality TV. Some of this stuff you're like, is this really happening? Is this, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But
which makes
that's just where we're at right now.
Sure. And it makes it total sense that we got to get out. We got to get out of all this shit and get back to a time when we all three would be sitting at the bar and we'd be talking about whatever. And first of all, politics would never be an issue. I've said it 100 times. I never knew any of my buddies' political stance until the last 10 years.
Yeah.
But even if we, and even if we did, even if we got to somewhere where you liked this guy and I liked that guy and we didn't agree on something, it'd be like, all right, well, fuck that. Let's talk about the new Iron Maiden record. You'd just be like, move on, and you'd move to common ground. That attempt to stay on common ground is what is most lost. I think it's because of social media. I think it's a lot of reasons, but our ability to just say, hey, we don't agree on everything, but here's why we're friends, because we do agree with this, just seems like it's completely lost now. No?
Yeah. Well, it's the thing with social media is that it's really hard to get away from anything anymore, so it's just constant people just ramming stuff down your throat into your head about, this is how it is. This is how it is. No, this is how it is. And, you're an asshole. You're wrong. No, you're wrong. And it's just, and then all sorts of, misinformation and just stupid shit that people say. And there's someone that's going to believe for every stupid thing that somebody says, there's going to be somebody that believes it. And then they take that, they run with it. It's just crazy. It's just,
It is now, and we could go on all day about this shit, man. So, but let's get back to the band.
You can't get away from it.
So there you go. We got to get out, right? Exactly.
So that Iron Maiden record. All right, man. So obviously, the band was formed in the late 90s, and you put out a really solid record in 2002, and then after that, it kind of. I don't know. You guys kind of went and did different things or whatnot. So why don't you kind of fill in that gap between where you were at and why you went away and why you decided to bring it back?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's been such a roller coaster ride. It really has. All right. So the band was formed in somewhere around, I think, 96, 97. we did the full length album in 2002. And then we all ended up joining another band, and we were in two bands at the same time, except I was the drummer in the other band, and
Okay.
they had another singer, and it was, the singer's band. And so basically everyone kind of jumped ship and decided they were going to stay with the other band. So that was like right after the CD came out. The timing couldn't have been any better. And right after Sink or Swim came out. So I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Should I start a new project? Should I keep 60 Miles Down? And I decided, fuck it. I'm gonna, we worked hard on this CD.
Sure.
Why abandon it? So I basically regrouped, got a new lineup together. And then we did a 6-song EP called A New Skin that we put out in 2006, I believe. And that lineup kind of fell apart at some point, and then it just became like a revolving door,
Sure.
since then. So and throughout this whole point, we're all starting to get a little bit older. So people are starting to get married, starting to have kids, so responsibilities start shifting
Right.
around. And so by 2010, I think I was the only person in the band. And at that point, I taught myself how to play guitar, so I started writing songs on guitar.
Okay.
And I just kept getting the lineup together. We were basically just a recording project for a while.
Okay.
We did we started doing an EP in 2010, and we just never finished it, because I think I started, I had kids, the guitar player had kids, and so everything just kind of fell apart. And then at some point, 2015, I think, I somehow managed to get the band back together again. And
Sure.
and we just started releasing a bunch of singles. We've been trying to release an EP,
Right.
but I like doing singles right now, because it's just I don't like the idea of just like having to disappear for like a year or whatever the time is, just to get a full body of workout that people are just going to stream or download, anyway, because it's really hard to say. No one really has. I don't own a CD player anymore.
Sure. Me either. Yeah.
So
And you know what the interesting thing, and I'll be honest, I'm one of these guys that has railed against releasing singles forever until lately. For now, I'm kind of all in, and I'm all in because to release 12 or 15 songs, especially a band like yours that will have some social consciousness in some of the songs, it really locks you into a specific moment.
right.
And as fast as information changes now, if it locks you into something that's October of 2021, by January of 2022, that's going to feel really old.
Yeah.
It's crazy how different it is from, even 10 years ago,
Yeah. No, it really is. And it kind of sucks. I miss, I was doing a lot of people. I miss having like, an actual CD,
Sure.
liner notes and artwork and stuff. And I haven't gotten around to, jumping on the vinyl bandwagon, because it's just too expensive.
Yeah.
I don't own a record player anymore.
Same here.
But I would love to put out a vinyl, to put out a vinyl album, but it's just too expensive right now. It's just not something that's really makes any sense for for us as a band at this moment in time. So
Sure.
we're sticking with singles, videos, and just kind of sticking with that right now. I mean, the singles that we're going to be releasing are all going to be on the EP. So I'm still trying to write some more songs, so when we release the EP, we have some stuff on there that people haven't heard yet.
Right.
So it's kind of a tricky process, but
Sure.
we're trying. We already have the next 2 singles are pretty much finished. So
Right.
so we're getting there.
Do you look to stay independent, or do you shop it trying to find somebody to, throw you some bucks to maybe pick up the cost of the vinyl and that kind of a thing? Or
it's kind of hard because of the time. It's just I don't have the time right now to put in like 110%
sure.
into really getting things to a whole new level. So right now I'm good with where we're at, and doing things on our own. It could change in the future, but I'm not about at this stage going on tour and just living that life, because I just can't. I got I have kids, and
Right.
I have a job that I can't leave, bills to pay, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. It's not like we're 20 and free anymore, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But for me, even when I was in my 20s, I wasn't really, I don't like to fly. I don't, I'm not big into traveling all that much. So even back then, I was, when everyone else was like, oh, we got to get on a bus, we got a tour. I was kind of like, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, man, I don't want it, But I'm really just, as long as I could keep writing, recording, and just, releasing music and have, get that, good feedback.
Sure.
Then it just makes me want to keep doing it. It's just not, it's something that I just can't, be away from. I was away from it kind of for a couple years, and I was miserable. I was just, it was constantly in my head, constantly coming up with ideas for things. And, I was just in a situation where I didn't have access to a guitar at the time, or, stuff like that. So,
Sure.
it all just kind of built up until I was able to, get back into it again.
Right.
But, the
Dude.
best part, I mean, if one person, every once in a while I'll get an email or something, or a message from someone that says, Sink or Swim got me through a really tough time, or, this song, really got me through something.
Right.
Those are for me, those are the best moments. That's what, all the hard work, all the frustration, it just makes it all go away, because there's nothing better than someone telling you that something that you created, touched their life in a positive way, So, but yeah, so that's where I'm pretty much singles and videos right now.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, man. So the one question that does arise, man, from doing it this way and not being the full time in the van going around is, can you make it completely on your own, or do you still try to fit yourself into a scene, whether it would be kind of, I don't even know what scene you would fit in. You guys aren't exactly stoner rock type, but you have some of that element, and
Yeah,
you're not exactly hard rock, but you do have that element. You're not exactly metal, but you have that element.
yeah, and it sucks because it makes it so hard to figure out, like marketing, and like, all right, who do I target this song to, and with the Facebook ads and Spotify things, it's really tricky. It's really tricky. I'm not, I don't really care about scenes. Years ago it was all about, we got to be heavy, we got to be dark, and I don't know if we ever really were all like that heavy and that dark, but at this point, I whatever I write is what I write, and whoever likes it likes it. I've written some. I got into a phase for a little bit where I was writing all these. I was just always in front of a keyboard, so I started writing these, songs, with just like pianos and vocal. And I wrote this one song called "Dear Tomorrow" that I don't think I released it as a single, but I put it up on our Facebook page, and it was really it was just a very bare bones piano and vocal thing, and a lot of people liked it, and then I think a lot of people were just like, who is this? Like, it's to go from full out guitars, hard rock, whatever, and then something that sounds, super poppy, super laid back. I think, some people it goes over their heads, but again, it's fine, because I'm not trying to fit into any kind of a scene.
Right.
Whatever scene people want to, put us in, that's great, but I don't write to be a part of something, because I just do it for myself, and hope that people like it.
Sure.
Sure.
But I don't know what we are. I mean, I've gotten, hard rock and genres that I never really heard of before. There was this like post grunge thing that I started hearing about, and alternative this, alternative that, and I'm like, all right, hey, whatever.
Well, dude, it's interesting because your publicity paperwork or email says Allison Chains and Black Sabbath, and
Yeah.
I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Not exactly what I heard.
Yeah.
I get a lot of Allison Chains comparisons. I guess
Okay.
it's probably like the harmonies, maybe in some of the songs.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I get that a lot, and I take it as a compliment, because
Sure.
it's fucking Allison Chains.
Sure.
But when when we released "Gotta Get Out," before it came out, I put it up on this website called Drupal,
Okay.
and you could actually you could buy a package where they'll actually have people answer specific questions about your song, right? So who does it remind them of, what genres, and what does it make them feel, and all this crazy stuff. And I got everything from, for that song, I got Alice in Chains, I got fucking Cinderella,
Whoa.
Wow.
Avenged Sevenfold, And there was another one that was really crazy. Like I think Poison or something, or Slaughter. It was one of those.
Wow.
I was like, I'm like, what do I do with this information? Like,
Nothing. That's what you do.
you know. So, but
Yeah.
Alice in Chains is something that you know, we would get a lot. I've gotten a lot of COC, a lot of Corrosion
Yeah.
Conformity,
Okay. Sure.
stuff from people. You know, certain riffs, maybe certain vibes of some of the songs. You know, so
Yeah, it's that big fuzzier type of a riff, I think, that would fit the COC, and plus the vocal's a little cleaner than the standard doomy
yeah,
thing, like a COC. So I mean, I can see that.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you know, it's cool. You know, it's people are hearing all sorts of different things. So I'm fine with that. You know,
Sure.
Cool. Cool. Well, John, why we have you on here, I mean, obviously, let's talk real quick about your other band, the hat you have on right there,
Mhm.
Incognito Theory.
Yep.
As I was talking about before we got on here, we started the interview. We featured vocalist, your cousin Dave Incognito on Aftershocks last month. I got a chance to talk to him. Great guy. Had a great time chatting with him. And
Mhm.
since I did talk to him, there's actually been a lot of stuff going on with the band. You guys are
Yeah.
just put out the new single and video. You just sent it to me today for the track Sunset Moonshine,
Mhm.
which I think is the best song that the band has released to date. I really do.
Thanks.
Yeah, I got to see the video, really cool video. So just talk a bit about what's going on with IT right now, as I know, like I said, there's been some happenings since we last talked to Dave.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been there's been so much going on with the just with all the with the EP we put out, with the EP that we're working on, well, the full length that we're working on for next year,
Mhm.
and then the Sunset Moonshine video that's coming out on Halloween, and you know, just the single itself. You know, a lot of people seem to be really excited about the song.
Mhm.
Um, you know, I'm excited about it. You know, I mean, there's times there's times you write a song and you're like, yeah, you know, this is really good, and there's times where you're like, you know, you just feel like something really kind of stands out, and I really feel that with this song. I really feel that this is going to get us a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know, it's just got such a cool vibe. It's positive. It's just about you know, it just got a very like just a very positive partying, hanging out kind of vibe
Mhm.
to it, you know.
Mhm.
And the video was a blast to make. And yeah, it's just been great. It really has. You know, we're on Rage Breed Records.
Mhm.
They've been absolutely amazing to us. Um, Mark Petrick is the gentleman that shot the video. He does all our videos, and he did the Gotta Get Out video as well. That was our first 60s first video with him.
Mhm.
And you know, it's just been great. You know, it's just there's so many good things going on right now. So you know, I really couldn't be happier.
Sure. Well, I mean, so how was it? I mean, obviously, like you said, you're in multiple projects at the same time. Long gone are the days where I think a lot of musicians are focusing on just one band, whether it's just a need and desire to have multiple avenues to express your, artistic desires or whatever you call it. But for you, I mean, play it. You play different parts too in both bands. Obviously, the vocalist was 60 Miles Down, and you play drums for Incognito Theory.
Mhm.
How is it challenging really to sort of switch those gears and focus levels when you're juggling both bands at the same time, where you have different roles,
Um,
or how does it work for you in that regard?
not really. I mean, it's obviously a little bit different. You know, in the
Mm,
bands, in with Incognito Theory, you know, I was looking to just start playing drums again because I really hadn't played drums in a long time, and that was my main instrument. I started playing drums before I started singing, and then me and Dave were talking about starting a project for a long time, and then a situation came where he needed a drummer, and I was like, all right, fuck it, let's do it, and here I am, over 2 years later, still doing it. And then I ended up becoming like the main songwriter. Um, most of the stuff on the EP, I think I wrote, except for um, "This Rebel Soul Lives On."
okay.
My guitar player Dave Crum did that one. Um, and it's just the writing process is actually a lot easier for me with Incognito Theory because I could come up with a riff and Dave will just start singing a melody over it, and then hearing his melody just gives me an idea for another part, and the next thing you know, we have a song. We wrote this one song, Set It Off, we wrote in like an hour, and
Wow.
it just, you know, he came over to we were going to work on one song, but I didn't get the stems to work on the song. So I said, all right, let's just mess around a little bit. So I came up with this riff, and he just started singing, and then an hour later we had the Set It Off was done. It was crazy. But for 60, it's you know, I do most of the writing for 60 as well, and having to write the music and the melodies, you know, for the vocals and stuff, it seems to be a little bit more challenging for me when I'm doing the vocals and the music on my own, you know. And plus lyrics are like my least favorite thing to write. So in Incognito Theory, I could take a vacation from that, because Dave handles all that stuff. He's the master lyricist in the band, so, you know, so it works out good.
Awesome, man. Awesome. All right. Well, the band is 60 Miles Down. And so go ahead, John, just let people know where they can go check out the band and the music and merch and all that good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we're everywhere. You know, I mean, you can check out our website, you know, 60md.com, which is, you know, 60md.com. You can find 60 Miles Down on Facebook. We're on Spotify, YouTube, you know, all your favorite downloading and streaming sites, you know, all the major ones, we're pretty much there. So, you know, it's pretty easy to find us, especially since we've been around since, you know, the invention of dirt.
Sure. Yeah, no doubt, man. Well, yeah, 60 Miles Down, the song has got to get out. Look out for the video coming out next month, and the new EP that's going to come out in 2022. And John, once again, man, thanks for coming on Aftershocks Tremors with us, and good luck with everything. And you know, look forward to checking out that video next month.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right, John. Take it easy, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks,
man.
man.